5:01, we'll get started shortly. For those of you who are here already, enjoy the pictures of our 2019 Black History Oratorical Fest. Welcome, I see you're all joining us. Thank you so much. A reminder to turn off our phones or turn down or put it on silent mode. That was me. This is our middle school Oratorical Fest a couple of years ago. Such fond memories of being in person, right? Welcome. I see you're joining us in droves. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Give everyone a few more moments. We're all hustling, trying to get from one Zoom meeting to the next, or from one event to the next, or finishing up with dinner. Laura, you remember this? These pictures?
I'm trying not to be teary-eyed. I remember all the people filling the standing room only. Oh, everyone being nervous with their jitters.
Yes, the hugs, the balloons. I miss it.
I don't miss all that. Setting up tables and getting the trees out, getting the banner up.
Look at all.
But I'll be glad to do it again. Definitely be glad to do it again. It means we're back in person with each other and our children are able to get that live performance feel. That's me. This year was our 50th anniversary of the African American Studies Department. So we joined in that theme, which was empowered and equipped for purpose. And we used the SPIRIT acronym, which is also in the mission of the African American Studies Department. The S is for strength, P is for perseverance, I is for imagination, R is for responsibility, I is for integrity, and T is for talent. So that's what you see in that banner there, SPIRIT.
I'm always so jealous when I hear you say this, because I'm like, I wish I could remember all that.
Well, my parents were adamant. It was every day after school. I went to a program called Project Spirit, and that's what they told us.
That's right.
The S for. And that week we talked about strength. And what is the P for? So great programs that we are replicating here in Berkeley with Young, Gifted, and Black, and with so many of our other programs at our local school campuses.
So it looks like it's 5:05, and we might want to get started so that we can honor everyone's time.
Awesome. So thank you everyone for being here tonight. Thank you for enjoying our preamp memory lane chatter and for really being a partner and making sure that our children have this opportunity despite this pandemic environment that we've been in. I want to acknowledge all of our contestants from last year who were geared up and ready to go right before the pandemic hit. That actually would have been our third annual district competition. But instead, this is now our third annual district competition. And so we're grateful that by any means necessary, we were going to make it happen this year. As such, here we are on Zoom. Thank you, Zoom. And thank you to all the participants this year who decided to submit videos and to go for it and to take part. Because we know that it is so important for our students to have interesting ways to engage with Black history and also to gain that public speaking, writing, oratory experiences. So that was one of the main purposes in which 4 years ago, we birthed the Oratorical Fest district-wide competition. And we are grateful to see the ways in which it has grown and continued. This year's theme is Black Women Triumph in celebration of our new Vice President, Kamala Harris, who would have been on this stage many years ago, I'm sure, prepping her oratory skills. We just want to make sure that we remember to acknowledge that we do stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. And so when we talk about Black Women Triumph, that starts from the beginning, right? That starts from Africa, through the abolitionist movement, through the civil rights movement, through the Black Lives Matter movement, and now today as we triumph in the White House. So again, thank you everyone for being here tonight and for encouraging your children to participate, to all the teachers and administrators who encouraged the children to participate and got those videos out. We have lots more appreciations that we will offer at the end of this evening. But definitely wanted to start with a big thank you to all the participants and their families, and welcome to tonight's Oratorical Fest. With that, we are also honored to have Dr. Stevens here. He is our superintendent of schools, and thank you for being here, Dr. Stevens.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. I'm already smiling with all of this infectious energy. Just the two of you alone. You are a huge pick-me-up. Thank you. I also want to say hi to everybody. It's really nice to be here. This to me is really one of the highlights of the entire school year. And the good part is there's two of them, one this week and one next week. So my thanks as well to all of the students and families who have jumped in and been a part of this virtual event, all of our staff who has joined in. And then two very special thank yous. One to Director Babbitt. This I know is a longtime passion of yours, and I can tell that the energy is just brimming right now. And then to you, Ann Caligari, Supervisor of our Office of Family Engagement and Equity. You and the team have done such hard work over the course of this year, supporting families, supporting our schools, and to see a big smile on your face, to see a lightness in your spirit this evening really, I think does all of us good, because we know you've been carrying a large burden for all of us. So thank you to both of you, and welcome to everybody.
Thank you so much, Dr. Stevens and Director Babbitt. You know, every year I'm so nervous, weeks and months, and even yesterday. And as soon as we hit that button that says we're on, or when we go on the stage, the nerves just go away because I'm here with my family. And so with that, I say thank you so much, family, for being here to share in this amazing occasion. We've already introduced two very important people that you can see right now. I want to make sure that I also introduce Raina Steffel, who has been amazing with helping us to put this event together. You know, we're in the front, and you'll probably see Laura and I a little bit more, but this is not possible without the hard work behind the scenes. So she may pop in and pop out, but she is there making sure that this is amazing for you. So thank you so much, Raina. We honor you and appreciate you. And so with that, I'd like to get us started in our 2021 Black History Oratorical Fest. I mean, this is just so exciting to be here again. And the reason we are here in the first place was because before 2018-19, when we started with this Oratorical Fest, there were so many conversations about uplifting Blackness. We had these meetings about what can we do to support our kids. There was so much going on. And Director Babbitt and I, parent Babbitt and I at the time, were talking, and we were communicating with other parents, and we were like, what if we do something that's fun, right? And so this is how this was born, the Black History Oratorical Fest. Director Babbitt came with all these big ideas that overwhelmed me. And then we had many discussions, and then it became real when we did the first one, and we had no idea what would happen. We took money out of our own pockets to get gifts and to get balloons and flowers to make it happen. And at the end of that first event, we knew we had to do it again and again and again. And so here we are, uplifting Blackness in a real fun way. And I am just so happy to have that partnership with now Director Babbitt. Thank you so much. I'd like for us to get started, and I'd like to let you know that today we are going to have an amazing event. But what is going to happen is that what we did this year was, because we were doing all of this Zoom and we were unsure of what was going to happen, we wanted to make sure that this was going to happen for our kids this year. So what we did was we had our students to pre-record their videos and send them in to us. And so you may see a part of what we're doing today being recorded. I want you to know that we did this to honor our children. We wanted to make sure that you really heard them. And when you hear what they have to say today, you'll know that that was a really good decision. The theme is Black Women Triumph. And look, Director Babbitt referred to it earlier, but let me just give you the quote from our new Vice President, Kamala Harris. What she said in her speech was, she said she was thanking the women who fought and sacrificed so much for equality, liberty, and justice for all, including the Black women who are too often overlooked, but so often proved to be the backbone of our democracy. Once we heard that, we thought it was just very important to be able to not just uplift Blackness, but to uplift our Black women in this theme. And what you will see this evening is that our students did just that, and we thank them for it. And so now what I'd like to do is just tell you what the evening is going to be like, and then I'm going to let the students take this away. So I'm going to be introducing a student announcer in a minute, not a couple. She is going to be introducing the schools. So the presenters will be introduced in clusters by schools. And then we're going to introduce the judges. I'm not going to tell you, you'll have to figure out which part is pre-recorded and which part is live. And then what we are going to do is we are going to announce the award winners of this evening. Before we get started, I just want to say that we are going to be announcing those who won awards, but all of our students, those who made it to the district-wide competition, and those who made it to their site-based competition, and those who wrote a poem, those who did a video, those who contributed in their own way. You are all winners, because this is not easy, and our students did it. So with, I'm not going to take any more time. I'm just going to pass this over to our extremely enthusiastic student announcer, Nevaeh.
Hello, middle school families! Are you ready for an exciting competition? Woohoo! I am. In alpha order, we are going to hear from our 3 middle schools, King, Longfellow, and Willard. Coming to the stage from Martin Luther King Jr., our first 6 contestants.
Just one life we live. Just one move we make. Just a small heartbreak can change everything. Will the world be equal? Can we say this with justice in our mind? Can we be whoever we want to be? Anti-racism, anti-sexism, anti-violence, anything with justice. Will we be what we be? Will we have the freedom to walk these grounds and not worry about being judged? Because we should only judge ourselves. In the future, we should all be calm. In the future, we shall be justified. Forever, forever justified. Forever, forever justice in our life. With just one heart we have, just one mind we hope, we will be justified. Justified. Just one chance we have. Thank you.
I'm Annie,
I'm Anthony.
and we're representing from King Middle School, and we're singing a song called Black Life that we wrote together.
Sitting in the bus local roads or parks, it's not so easy for those who are dark. Separate pools, theaters, and fountains. Thanks to those who still strong and move mountains.
There's a lot of history, yeah, we're on the charts. Over 400 years of fear, still fire in the hearts. There's been a lot of hate, but still, stay strong. I hope this can help. Just listen to this song. Yeah, white folks, I'm talking to you. There's a lot of work you still need to do. Talk with another white person. Don't be silent. Don't sit around and wait for things to get violent.
Like if you see a storekeeper following me around, call them out. Don't just stare at the ground. Doesn't matter what color you're seeing. We're a team human beings.
There are lots of black people you need every day. It ain't just MLK. Hold up, I'm about to blow you away. The ironing board was invented by Sarah Boone.
If it didn't have her, we look like goons.
The home security system was made by Mary Van Britten.
I would get robbed if it weren't for that black woman.
Garrett Morgan, he's one of the tops.
The traffic lights he invented tell us to go slow and stop.
Thomas Edison may get all the credit.
But Lewis Latimer invented the carbon filament.
Hey Anthony,
Yeah.
have you ever tried to get in an elevator carrying a bunch of files?
Yeah, thank goodness. Those doors are automatic thanks to Alexander Miles.
Madness. C.J. Walker, the first to sell products for black hair.
Do you know she became the first American female millionaire? That's what we do. We make history. Give props to these folks. Don't keep it a mystery.
Don't forget that we're a team. Work together for equal opportunity.
My name is Isla Erzwaga King. I'll be reciting a poem that I wrote titled Unnamed. I'll be reciting this poem in English and Spanish. I am in the 7th grade. I go to Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School, and my teacher is Miss Hoppy. I'd rather be one with my earth than away from it, than against it. I prefer to be here in the moment, in my heart, where I can feel it all. Good, bad, it doesn't matter to me. I want to be free. I want to be free, to be heard, to be listened to not be afraid of who might be listening to. I may be light, but my Father's dark. I may be light, but I'm not in the dark. I hear, I see, I know what not to be. Don't, won't, shouldn't, can't, why not? Will I not get a helping hand? No breath, no thought, everything is gone. I want my earth to be one with itself and to not be judged for something we can't help. Skin, love, thoughts, beliefs. Why can't we all just agree? I may be young, but I'm no child. Here on earth, everyone is wild. Why can't we bond over love, laughs, arts, and crafts? I'm tired. I'm angry. I want to go home. But where is home? Unfortunately, it's a place that no one has ever known. Sin nombre. Prefiero ser uno con mi tierra. Entonces, lejos de eso, entonces contra eso. Prefiero estar aquí, en el momento, en mi corazón, donde puedo sentirlo todo. Bien, mal, no me importa. Quiero ser libre. Quiero ser libre. Para ser escuchada para no tener miedo de quién puede estar escuchando también. Puedo que yo sea clara, pero mi padre es negro. Puedo que sea luz, pero no estoy en la oscuridad. Escucho, veo, sé lo que no ser. No, no quiero, no debería, no puedo. ¿Por qué no? ¿No conseguiré una mano amiga? Sin aliento, sin pensamiento, todo se ha ido. Quiero que mi tierra sea una consiga misma, para no ser juzgados por algo que no podemos evitar. Piel, amor, pensamientos, creencias. ¿Por qué no podemos estar todos de acuerdo? Puede que sea joven, pero no soy una niña. Aquí en la tierra todos son salvajes, porque no podemos unirnos sobre amores, risas, artes, manualidades. Estoy cansada, estoy enojada. Quiero ir a casa, pero ¿dónde está el hogar? Desafortunadamente, es un lugar que nadie ha conocido.
The power of perseverance. When you think of a Black woman's persistence, like Kamala Harris, you think of powerful perseverance. When you think of people like Harriet Tubman, she was courageous, a hero, a fighter, even when she helped others escape from the plantation hundreds of times. No slave owners could ever hold her or find her. Why? The power of perseverance. Poets like Maya Angelou, activists like Rosa Parks, who speak triumphantly and confidently. They use their voice to bring out the best in this crazy, wild country. The power of perseverance. We've had mathematicians like Katherine Johnson, smart, black, and bold, even though over centuries this world has turned so cruel and cold. The power of perseverance. We've had other Black female leaders like Angela Davis, who stood up for women's rights. When things got tough, she was not afraid to fight. The power of perseverance. People like Mae Jemison, the first African American female astronaut to travel into space. A truly historic moment that could never be replaced. The power of perseverance. We've had other passionate activists to this day, such as Amanda Gorman, whose poems inspire us, help us to dream, and fill this empty space, who eloquently writes about the injustices we have today and speaks with such grace. The power of perseverance. These are African American female women who inspired us through centuries as we look beyond all the rules, racism, and the boundaries. We are still here. The power of perseverance.
Hello, my name is Karina Leaf, and I will be reciting Absolute by Jacqueline Woodson. I am a 6th grader at Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School, and my English teacher is Mr. Nueva. Absolute by Jacqueline Woodson. The summer I was 10, a teenager named Kim butterflied my hair, cornrows curling into braids behind each ear. Everybody's wearing this style now, Kim said. Who could try to tell me I wasn't beautiful? The magic in something as once ordinary as hair that for too long had not been good enough, now winged and amazing, now connected to a long line of crowns, now connected to a long line of girls moving through Brooklyn with our heads held so high our necks ached. You must know this too. That feeling of being so much more than you once believed yourself to be. So much more than your 2 skinny arms and 2 big feet and 2 long fingers and 2 thick and stubborn hair. All of us now, suddenly seen. The trick mirror that had us believe we weren't truly beautiful suddenly shifts. And there we are. And there we are. And there we are again. And how could we not have seen ourselves before? So much more. We are so much more.
Hello, My name is Lila.
And my name's Alasia.
We are sixth graders here at King Middle School.
We are here reciting an original piece called
African American Women of the Past, Present, and Future.
The Past.
The inspiring stories of Ruby Bridges, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, and Maya Angelou go down in history.
Their stories are known by everyone as they are heroes of the past, strikers, learners, leaders, marchers standing up for their rights.
But there are also the unsung heroes, the ones that history overlooked, the ones that we did not give enough credit.
You probably know the story of Ruby Bridges, who was the first African American child to desegregate the all-white William Franz Elementary School when she was only 6 years old.
But you probably don't know about Audrey Faye Hendricks, who, at the age of 9, left school and joined more than 2,000 students in a Birmingham protest that later became to be known as the Children's Crusade. She was one of the youngest marchers there.
And of course there's Harriet Tubman, the savior of 300 people on her Underground Railroad, and in all those 19 trips, she never lost a passenger.
But maybe you don't know about Sojourner Truth, who was a women's rights activist before we even had the word feminist. She escaped slavery, getting her freedom in 1826.
There's also Rosa Parks, who started the Montgomery bus boycott.
But did you know about Claudette Colvin, who, 9 months before Rosa Parks' arrest, was arrested in Montgomery for the same act? You probably know about Maya Angelou, who wrote inspiring poetry.
But what about Gwendolyn Brooks, who is a poet best known as the first African American to win a Pulitzer Prize for her 1949 book, Annie Allen?
Now for the present.
When she was First Lady, Michelle Obama was an activist for poverty awareness, education, exercise, healthy eating, and a role model for women.
Alicia Garza is one of the 3 Black women who founded the Black Lives Matter movement in 2013. What started as a hashtag is now a nationwide movement to end police violence against Black people.
Blair Imani is a Black LGBTQ+ Muslim activist who's already become a leader when it comes to the intersection of those identities.
Amanda Gorman is a Black poet and activist. A few months ago, she became the youngest poet to ever read at a presidential inauguration, and her story has inspired many.
Now we have the past, the present, and the... Wait, what comes next?
Nobody knows.
What do you mean?
We don't know who could be our next heroes. It could be me, it could be you, it could be that kid with their video off watching this.
Oh, I get it. It could be our friends, it could be our enemies, it could be someone we don't know very well.
It could be any one of us.
So what will you do?
Thank you, and good afternoon.
Yes, Martin Luther King Middle School. Thank you so much for those beautiful presentations. This is what I got from those 6 awesome speeches. Stay strong and let's do the work. Inventors that gives our lives flair, we are not in the dark. Let's bond over love and create a new home. Perseverance, the power of perseverance. Smart, black, and bold, yes. And we are so much more. Unsung heroes of the past, present, and future. Who's next? Any one of us. All right, next coming to the stage, the Tigers of Longfellow School.
Hi, I'm Matsiri Martinez, and I'm going to recite the poem Afro-Latina by Elizabeth Acevedo. Afro-Latina, camina conmigo, salsa, swagger, anywhere she go como la negra tiene tumbado azúcar. Dance to the rhythm, beat the drums of my skin, Afro-descendant, the rhythms within. The first language I spoke was Spanish, learned from lullabies whispered in my ear. My parents' tongue was a gift, which I quickly forgot after realizing my peers did not understand it. They did not understand me. So I rejected habichuela y mangú, much preferring Happy Meals and Big Macs, straightening my hair in imitation of Barbie. I was embarrassed by my grandmother's colorful skirts and my mother's ebrogi in glee, which cracked my pride when she spoke. So I would poke fun at her myself, hoping to lessen the humiliation. Proud to call myself American, a citizen of this nation. I hated caramel colored skin, 'cause God had been born the color of cinnamon. How quickly we forget where we come from.
I am the Black woman, known for my bravery, my courage, and my strength, for not only fighting for my rights, but for the rights of my peers, for marching and protesting for everyone to hear. I am the Black woman, known for sitting on buses, running through the night, and going to school, for writing poems and songs and making dances, reaching for new possibilities and chances. I am the Black woman who has come so far in history, to making inauguration speeches and being the vice president, to becoming teachers, scientists, and lawyers. I am the Black woman whose skin glows when hit by the sun, whose hair coils and curls, who walks with such grace as if wearing white pearls. I am the Black woman who comes in all shades, sizes, and shapes, who will continue to make history, our next accomplishment, a mystery. I am the Black woman who's tough and strong, but can also be dainty and fragile, whose voice is loud and inspiring, but can also be quiet as a mouse. Believe me, when we all are different without a doubt. I am the Black woman, and what a great honor it is to be one.
My name is Nahala Davis Van Hook, and I will be reciting the poem, Still I Rise, Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and suns with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high. Still, I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I am a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling. I bear the tide. Leaving behind the nights of terror and fear, I rise. Up into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
The thick melodious cello, the luster of the violin. An orchestra is not an orchestra without these differences combined within. The United States is not the United States without the effort to unify. The greatest country, they say, yet we hear the words "I can't breathe" and label those who say it criminals or say that they deserved it. But why is it that the extra melanin in my skin is somehow seen as more of a threat than the division caused by those who are expected to do what's right for this country, for our future generations? Fixing a broken country is molding it into something we hoped it could be. But being the future of an unfinished country is contributing to what this country will be. We cannot always accept what is given to us, as what is given to us isn't always justice. It is because we inherit the strength of our ancestors that we have faced a cave of darkness, but still won't stop until we reach the sunlight. Yes, we are different. We are people of different cultures and people of different colors, but we are people with the same ability to share the same love and respect, if only to allow it, to embrace it, and to share it. And so we empathize to those around us and ourselves, because when we come together as one piece, one nation, it is the division that we abandon and the harmony that we empower.
All right, wrong, fellow contestants. Afro-Latina, black is beautiful, skin touched by the sun. I am a black woman, still I rise, I rise, I rise. And now, the Phoenix Rising from Willard Middle School, our last 6 contestants. Enjoy!
Hello, my name is Pearl Pedro French, and I'm going to be reading Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I arise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, the certainty of tides. Just like hope springing high, still I arise. Do you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air, I'll rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I'll rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I'll rise. I am a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. I am the gift that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. And so, I rise. I rise. I rise.
Hi, my name is Asha, and I wrote my poem, and it's called To Be So Far, and I guess you'll see why. So, yeah. Okay. We used to pick cotton to stay away from the whip. Now, we work for money. Before, we were not allowed to read. Now, we are in schools. We had to sit in the back of the bus. Now we sit wherever there is not dust. Before, we were not legal, and now we are people. Some things are fair, but to fear. I go here, sometimes get followed. I can be whatever I want, but don't get the same chances. We have marches, but tear gas and armed forces. To have this much, we have come so far, but I want a doll in the color of soil. They say some words in my skin, it boils. We now can go wherever we want, but just because she's the cow doesn't mean she's my aunt. But yay, you're not a slave. But some still want white against the night.
Seeing family reminds me that I'm mixed, that I'm not 100% from their race. I'm a painting with more than one face. Being mixed is like the tide of the ocean. Some challenges make me want to scream, while other rewards uplift my self-esteem. Barriers stand tall between family, only to be broken by love. While each laugh passes my mouth, it builds a bridge from my heart to theirs. As each hour passes with me in their homes, the old walls disappear. My race is more than one color. It shines through my personality and influences my action. It's like a magnet, pulling different people together. embracing what I am forever.
Hi, my name is Najuna Chigundu. I'm in 7th grade at Willard Middle School. My poem is called For Black Girls Like Me. You're pretty for a black girl. You're smart for a black girl. Coming home confused. Why am I pretty or smart for a black girl? Aren't I just pretty? Can't I just be smart? The words permanently etched in my brain. I'm pretty and smart for a black girl. 13% of women in the US are black, and yet the beauty standard is still whack. To be fair-skinned is to be white. To have pretty hair is to have straight, bright hair. When will a day come when black women are respected? When will a day come when black women are seen as empowering and strong? So here's to Harriet, Rosa, May, the blessings not in disguise. Here's to bringing black women honor every day. Harriet Tubman was the slavery era's Moses, who rescued from the underground like long-awaited roses. Rosa Parks, the one who refused to give up her seat, planting her feet firmly on the earth. Mae Jemison, who released the anchors, flew up to space. We look across history and see the mark of black women in every time and place. Here's to Wilma, Flojo, Jackie, sprinting across the finish line. Wilma Rudolph, she wore braces on her legs, but that braced her for a future of overcoming. Turning her greatest weakness into her greatest strength. Florence Joyner, who was the fastest woman of all time, breaking barriers and crossing every line. Jackie Joyner, I guess 7 is her lucky number, winning the heptathlon even in her slumber. So here's to them, not being pretty good, being the best. Important black women aren't just dusty figures in our history books. They're bright, empowering women in our everyday life. So here's to my mom for pushing me further. Here's to my sisters for keeping me on my toes. Here's to myself for being me despite being just a black girl. So here's to being a strong black woman. Here's to letting black women triumph. And here's to our black girl magic. Here's to all of us for being pretty smart.
Hi, my name is Zariah King, and this is my poem about Henrietta Lacks, titled Stolen Cells. Enjoy. Every day, important people in black history are forgotten. More importantly, black women. They are overlooked. Overlooked like the brave Henrietta Lacks. Henrietta Lacks. She died at 31 from cancer. The doctors refused to treat her. But instead, they were stealing from her. Stealing her cells. Today, we will remember her. Today, we will recognize her sacrifice. Henrietta Lacks was stolen from. Her freedom of choice was stolen, snatched out of her gripping fingers. She couldn't tell them not to test on her and her cells. Her voice was stolen, ripped right out of her throat. She couldn't tell them not to steal her cells because she had no voice. Her humanity was stolen. They tested on her cells without her consent, treating her like a guinea pig. She is unknown by too many. Too many are in the dark about her sacrifices. Her cells were stolen, taken from her body. They are still used today. They used her cells in the development of the polio vaccine to the study of leukemia. Her own family never knew what was going on with her. They were blindsided. She went in seeking treatment for cancer, but instead became a treatment for others. Henrietta Lacks was wronged, and no one knew. And the ones who did
did not care. She was courageous. She was murdered instead of thanked. She came into this world with nothing, and she left with nothing. Not her freedom, nor her voice. This month, this year, let's remember the unsung. Let's remember Henrietta Lacks. This month, don't let her remain forgotten. Thank you.
My poem is an ode to Flojo. An ode to Florence Griffith Joyner, or Flojo, as you were called on the bronze track chasing jackrabbits at 7 years old. You were the American dream. Made of grit and grain, of grace and grounded feet, like the sheets of rain before the fields of flowers, you were made of fuchsia fabric and lightning bolts. On your mark, set, bang of an empty gun, you turned into a blur of neon navy heels flying up in the Indy heat. You were unnaturally natural, colors running faster than you could tell them to stop. Even when you finished with silver on your chest, you showed us that silver is the color of showing up, that silver is the color of standing up, eyes up, fists up, lights down, that silver is the color of the moon showing her face, giving hope to the world when the sun has backed away, that silver is the color of the fight for gold. Still, people called you a liar, cheater, like you were more than blood and muscle, more than a pair of lungs and a pounding heart, because a woman who is too good isn't what the people pay for. A woman who is too good is just a bit uncomfortable, a bit too fast, too muscular, too loud, but you kept your shoulders back and your spikes planted still. With your nails intact, eyes tracked, cash flow flying down the track, the intersection of femininity and athleticism, you give me something other than God to believe in. Each medal was another battle held between the thick paint. You shook the world out of its blank haze, every stadium filled with fixed stares and white noise snapped back to the cacophony of Flojo screamed in the stands, announced with a brown-bearded voice through a scratched megaphone, whispered at night between little girls on opposite sides of life, dreaming of the silver moon and the golden medals. You were brand new to the world, but everyone had seen a little of you already, seeing double as they passed the mirror, the shocking familiarity of neon in the bus window. You showed up for something bigger, something no one could have predicted, a 1 in a million lightning strike something, but everyone felt the electricity in the air, tongues searching for the word, trembling at the edge of the drop. In 10.49 seconds, you blossomed into a desert flower that little girls come to drink at, like black bees looking for their honey, an epitome, foraging their way through the humming moonlit heat, with stingers on their backs and the wind in their wings. Thank you.
The Willard Phoenixes bringing the heat. Give them a round of applause. My summary for those awesome 6 performances. We're still rising in the words of Maya Angelou as we strive to overcome the injustices of the past. The paintings of more than one face, the magnets embrace, drawing respect, honor the marked Black women in every place. We remember your sacrifice and we are grateful for your healing genes. You are seen, and to you we sing the American dream, the silver moon and golden medals, the wind in her wings. Yes, our Black women triumph. Okay, judges, I know that was a tough one for you. Who wants to know the first, second, third place winners? All right, in third place we have... Psych! If you want to find out, let me introduce Miss Ann Caligari, the supervisor of the Office of Family Engagement and Equity.
I am just so thrilled to see the quality of our students' work. Thank you, students, so much for taking the time. Thank you, staff who supported them, and thank you, families, for supporting your students as well. This is definitely something that we will remember. And now it's time to introduce our panel of judges. They come to us from Berkeley Unified School District, our student, Shayla Avery, who is a student leader at Berkeley High School. Carol Porter, who is one of the original integrator of Berkeley Unified School District. Thank you for joining us, Carol. Bishop Kelly Wood from the Covenant Church right here in Berkeley, also a partner with the Office of Family Engagement and Equity. Dawn Williams, who is a teacher at Berkeley High School, as well as the co-lead of the African American Studies Department. And last but not least, we have Executive Director of the Berkeley Public Schools Fund, Erin Rhodes. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for giving your time. And now, Ms. Shayla Avery is going to let us know who will be taking home our first, second, and third place trophies. Shayla?
Thank you guys so much. You guys were all so amazing. Okay, now to announce the winners. In third place, from King Middle School, we have Corinna with Absolute. In second place, also from King Middle School, we have Imari with The Power of Perseverance. And finally, in first place, from Willard Middle School, we have Najuna with For Black Girls Like Me.
Oh my gosh, we are so bubbling with pride and we are so inspired. As you know, we started this with Speak and Inspire. That will always be our first tagline and theme. So if you don't leave inspired by tonight, I don't know what can inspire you. Congratulations to all of our participants. You were amazing. The chat is just going wild.
That was incredible. All those students did such amazing work.
Dr. Stevens, I hate to put you on the spot, but I think we have to do theater in this district, big time, at all levels. And we really need to focus on getting these kids to express themselves in many different spaces. Because, I mean, I am blown away by the speeches of these students, and some of them wrote these speeches themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's brilliant. So go on, Laura. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, this is all us. Well, my next vision is the publishing of all of these original pieces, right?
Oh, I'm going to beat you. I want to buy some primetime airtime.
Okay, all right. Well, he has the real power to pen, y'all.
Well, actually, what you
Everybody needs to see this.
You just reminded me that Jessica Lee and I had conversations about publishing the speeches of students last year when, I'm sorry to say, the pandemic hit. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to have to revisit that conversation because we are going to have to do that. Yes.
Yeah, we were going to partner with our libraries. Yes. Well, that was amazing. And congratulations to all of the first, second, and third prize winners. Congratulations to all of you who worked so well and so hard with them. We definitely want to thank the Berkeley Public Schools Fund. It is still because of their funding that we can offer you trophies, medals, T-shirts for participating, and we will
not out of our pockets anymore, right?
So thank you to all of the judges. I definitely don't ever want to have to take your seat. I'll stay as a facilitator just so I don't have to judge because, oh my gosh, all of you were fantastic. So all of you will get a T-shirt. That is the T-shirt which has our logo with Speak and Inspire over it from the Oratorical Fest. You can't really see the colors, but we have that color pop in there, you know.
the same like what's behind us right now. You can't see it here, but it's just like the colors behind us right now.
Yes. And we can't not acknowledge that wonderful MC, Nevaeh. Her last name is Babbitt, y'all. That's my I'm so proud of her as well.
She was
Huh?
our first place
As
winner.
if we didn't know that.
You can tell, huh?
Nevaeh was our first place one of our first place winners last year. And she gave up an entire day to be able to help us with this event. We did put out a call for other students. She showed up. But I will invite students and parents right now in the chat. Send me a message. Let me know if you'd like to be a part of next year's Oratorical Fest. Not presenters, but doing that behind the scenes announcer type thing. So please let me know.
Awesome. And, over spring break is when we recorded and took all of this and put it together. And so our wonderful teacher, Raina, oh my gosh, she did all of that recording. She did so many takes. She streamed everything together. Because don't forget, we had to do this for middle school and elementary school. So I just want to thank you for all of the time and the energy and the expertise that you brought to this project this year. So let's give her a round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is there anything you want to say? She was amazingly fun to work with.
I feel the same way. I feel like Ann, Laura, and I got together and it was like 3 peas in a pod. Like the meetings were fun. Laura and Nevaeh gave up a spring break day to record. And it was like, Laura was like cheerleader coach. And I was like, oh, we got to redo that again. And Nevaeh just was such a positive attitude, and same with Laura and Ann. I'm just really happy to be a part of it this year.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure it was like that for many of our contestants at home, doing take after take to get that video just right, to get that right expression. And I'm telling you, I have wiped so many tears from my eyes this evening. So it was all worth it.
Laura, I'd like to interject and say that when I was going through how the heck am I going to do this, because it's now going to be online, my colleague Debbie Dean, who is the K-8 director, said, I got the perfect person for you, and I'll pay for it. And I'm like, oh my God. And that's how we got Raina. Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you so much, Raina.
And thank you for keeping this in the curriculum for our 8th graders, because we know that is what really drives home the message to them as they take the time to really think about what does the theme mean? What is Black Women Triumph about? And as you saw from each speaker, you could tell that they took it to heart and it's made a difference in their lives. And so these are the outcomes that we are really driving for when we come up with these competitions, right? It might be a competition, but they are the winners for participating and for taking that home. A lot of times we get an "And Still I Rise" poem, and my daughter's like, another one. I'm like, how can we not? Kids need to know that poem. So many times when I'm down, I would think, nope, and still I rise. Nope, I can do it. So we want to keep this message going. We want to keep everyone inspired. And we know that Black women triumph and be inspired no matter what background you come from. Know that perseverance, that power of perseverance, that strength, that integrity, the responsibility to make a difference, and the talent will shine through.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Director Babbitt. It is always so exciting going into an evening like this. And it's a little bittersweet towards the end, I must say, because we are at that point. But I cannot close this evening out without giving huge kudos to our staff, because there's a lot going on right now in our world and in our schools, and going back to school and not going back to school. But yet they rose, and they rose to the occasion and were able to support students to be able to do this amazing event. So I just want to thank the principals, the teachers, the classified staff, our families, anyone who helped a child to memorize a speech or a poem or a rap. Thank you so much for just caring so much about these children, our children, and for caring so much about giving them the opportunity to present their voice to the world. In our cabinet meeting today, one of my colleagues mentioned that one of his students was a part of an oratorical fest and went on to a historically Black college and did great things in oration. And that's what we are starting right here. We're giving our kids their voices so that they can do whatever it is they want to do. So I thank you all for making this possible. And I'm going to say to my colleagues on this panel right now, what have I missed? Who did I not thank? Who did we not thank that you have remembered that we need to make sure we acknowledge?
Well, I definitely want to acknowledge Shayla because she also gave up a day of her spring break. She is a senior at Berkeley High School on her way to UCLA. We are so proud of that young leader. And thank you, Dr. Stevens, for making sure that this stays in our district and stays a light and stays a beacon.
We're going to make this bigger and bigger every year, right?
All right. All right.
Well, I was having a conversation with Miss Babbitt today, and she was like, now we need an event planner. So with that, I just want to say that I appreciate all of you who are right here on this panel. Laura Babbitt for bringing these big things to me that seem impossible, and then we do them, and then they work out just fine. Thank you very much. For Dr. Stevens for being excited about this last year, and from the time we introduced you to it until right now. We appreciate your support. And Raina, we could not have put this all together. It looked easy. It really looked easy when everything was presented, but we know it was a lot of hard work that went into this evening. So for that, I thank you and I appreciate you all. This program is being pre-recorded also, so we'll be able to post it on our websites for you to see in the future. Raina, were you saying something? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I just said thank you.
You are very welcome. Thank you very much to my team. You've had to do without me because I'm focused and doing a lot of other things. Thank you for hanging in there. I'll see you at our staff meeting tomorrow. And I thank you to everyone who is watching right now. Please tune in next week for the elementary school Oratorical Fest. Is going to be at the same time. It's a different link. So please check. I've sent it out and I'll send it out again as a reminder. So we'll see you for the elementary. Laura, did you have one last comment? I thought I saw you.
Now I just wanted to give a round of applause once again to all of the schools, to King, to Longfellow, and to Willard. Woohoo!
Congratulations, students. You did an amazing job, and we will be reaching out to your school sites to get your awards to you. So please don't worry, that's going to happen. And you can always reach out to us at oratoricalfest.net, correct? Yes, oratoricalfest.net. Or you can always reach out to one of us. Just go to the website, okay?
Oratoricalfest at Berkeley.net, right?
Oh, thank you. Oratoricalfest at Berkeley.net. I thought it sounded funny. Thank you guys.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Thank you all.
Thank you.